Welcome to the weekly wrap up where I update you about everything that has happened in the past week in the world of hip hop in SA and globally. Well, not everything, but everything noteworthy. My name is Manelisi. I am one half of the podcasting duo The Oracles alongside the superstar oracle Z Mazibugo. So, since this is the first episode of the weekly wrap up, please allow me to explain to you what it is and what it is about. Every week, I'll be bringing you noteworthy news that happened in the past week that you might have missed, share with you things that happened in history on the same week, as well as music drops that you have to check out. Normally, we will start from Monday and then go up to Friday, but sometimes we will do the weekends as well. So in this week's episode, we will be looking at Sunday the 28th of July up until Friday the 2nd of August 2024. If you saw the video I put up on my socials 3 weeks ago and you're thinking, he has done this intro before, let me put your mind at ease. You are not stuck in a matrix and this is not a test. This time around, I am here for real with a full episode. Let's get started. On Sunday the 28th, rapper Dalez's family announced that Dalez was hospitalized after suffering a stroke. According to the statement, he suffered the stroke on Friday the 26th. The 26th, by the way, was also his birthday. It appears he suffered the stroke earlier in the day because he was meant to perform later in the evening at his birthday celebration at Louis nightclub in Rosebank, but his team released a statement saying he will not be attending due to unforeseen circumstances. Later in the week, word was going around that Les's family is asking for donations to help pay for his medical bills. This was later said to be untrue. None of the two statements came from reliable sources, so it is truly a confusing time for everyone. All we can do is keep him in our thoughts and prayers and hope he has a full and speedy recovery. Now that we've gotten the bad news out of the way, let's get into some exciting news. On Monday the 29th, 1/10 of the Kwela's LaQasha quelled his birthday with a positive score by releasing a mixtape titled Iqhawe Emphakathini. Iqhawe Emphakathini is a 12-track mixtape and has a runtime of 39 minutes. It includes features from his fellow Kwelas. The mixtape is out on all digital streaming platforms. Run it up and let us know in the comments if it's a good score or not. Last week Thursday, Sjava and 1020 Cartel announced that Sjava will be going back on tour. They gave out a clue about the theme of the tour, which they then officially announced on Saturday. This tour they have named Sjava 2016 Tour, which is mainly based on his album Isina Muva. On Tuesday, the 30th of July, they then released the tour dates and venues. So far, it appears they are still keeping it between Durban and Johannesburg. The Johannesburg leg will be on the 27th and 29th of September at the Joburg Theatre. Tickets for those shows are already out. My advice to you is that if you really want to go, then make a plan to buy those tickets as soon as possible because they will get sold out very soon. The Durban leg of the show will be on the 1st and 2nd of November at the Playhouse Theatre. Tickets for those shows are not yet out, but an announcement will be made as soon as they are released. According to 1020, Sjava will be taking us through his 2016 musical journey. The music will be coming from his debut album Isina Muva as well as the features it did that year, which includes Vura and Amen. On Tuesday the 30th, TDE rapper SiR announced on X or Twitter that his show in Toronto has been cancelled. SiR was meant to perform at History on the 30th of July. History is a venue owned by Live Nation and one which Drake helped design. SiR explained that he had sold out the 2,500 capacity venue, but it was the venue itself that cancelled the show, and he's not quite sure why they did that. What is more interesting about this situation is that Schoolboy Q was also meant to perform at the venue on the 18th of July and his show was cancelled the day before that. His show too was sold out. Clearly, anyone affiliated to TDE or was at the pop-out is most certainly not welcome in Toronto. Which begs the question, will we ever see Drake performing in California ever again? We will just have to wait and see. A guy who's flying really high right now is Touchline. On Wednesday the 31st, Touchline went on X to announce that his single, I'll Always Have Me, has hit 1 million views on YouTube. According to Touchline, I'll Always Have Me is not only one of his favorite tracks, but it's also one of his most honest. This comes just 3 weeks after reaching a major milestone of hitting 1 million Spotify streams on his project with Ginger Trill, Boys in the Hood. I'll Always Have Me is on Touch's album Soon to A Better Year. Make sure to stream it on all platforms. On Thursday, the 1st of August, it was reported that Damon Dash's 33.3% stake in Rockefeller Music will be auctioned off by the US federal officials on the 29th of this month. The reason for the auction is to pay off Dame's $823,000 debt he owes to producer Josh Weber for copyright infringement and defamation over his film Dear Frank. The reason for the initial lawsuit that has landed Dame here is he was a director of the film, he got fired and then tried to sell the movie on his own under the name The List. The full value of Rockefeller Records is hard to find, but Def Jam owns 50% of the label and the other 50% is split between Dame, Jay-Z and Biggs. So if I understand it correctly, Dame currently owns 16.66% of the entire label. But I stand to be corrected. The opening bid is believed to start at $1.2 million, and whoever bids the highest will need to have 50% of the final price on hand. Interestingly enough, this auction announcement comes about a week or so after Damon Dash announced on social media that he is selling his 33.3% stake of Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt, which I think is the only album under Rockefeller Records. The rest of Rockefeller's discography is under a different company called Rockefeller LLC. I know, it's a bit confusing, but if you want me to explain it in a different video, let me know in the comments below. And finally, yesterday, the 2nd of August, Back to the City announced that the submissions for the 10K challenge are now officially open. If you've never been to Back to the City and you are wondering what the 10K challenge is, let me break it down for you. It's a music challenge consisting of 2 categories, MCs and producers. Out of all the submissions, 8 MCs and 8 producers are selected through a voting process to compete at one of the stages at Back to the City. The MCs get to spit their best bars and producers play their best beats in front of a crowd and a panel of judges. A winner is then selected from each category and each one of them gets to walk away with 10,000 rands, studio time, as well as a spot to showcase their skill at the main stage the following year. To find out how to enter the competition, visit the Back to the City pages on X and Instagram. Submissions close next week, Sunday, the 11th of August, so get yours submitted very quickly. Also, Back to the City is happening on the 12th of October at Mary Fitzgerald Square in Newtown, Johannesburg. Ticket sales are now at Ostrich Phase, which is the 4th phase of sales and they are running out. So if you want to be at Back to the City this year, you better get your tickets ASAP. That's it for the news. Now let's get into this week in hip hop history. On the 28th of July 2017, AKA and Anati released their collaborative album Be Careful What You Wish For. It includes the singles 10 Fingers, Don't Forget to Pray, and The Saga. This week, on Monday the 29th of July, Derek Barbosa, best known as Chino XL, died. Chino was an incredible lyricist, but if your hip-hop knowledge is not shoulder deep, you might recognize his name from Tupac's Hit 'Em Up monologue. On the 30th of July 1996, A Tribe Called Quest released their 3rd studio album Beats, Rhymes, and Life. The album features the singles Once Again and Stressed Out. On the 1st of August 1960, Public Enemy's Chuck D was born. He was celebrating his 64th birthday on Thursday. And now to close it off, here is some new music that dropped this week. MT released a new single titled Believer. It is produced by True Hits and Cocaine. Cocaine the person, not the substance. Youngster CPT released a single titled Young Slim. It is produced by J Beats. Killer Mike released a new album titled Michael and the Mighty Midnight Revival, Songs for Sinners and Saints. It is a 10-track album featuring Anthony Hamilton, Blast, Offset, and Project Pat, amongst others. It has a runtime of 39 minutes. And finally, Tasha Hendricks released her new album, If I'm Really Being Honest. It is a 10-track album and features Touchline, SiR Bantu, Kaya Tumagu, Nyota Parker, and Keisha K. All these releases are available on most streaming platforms, so make sure to check them out. And this is all I wrote for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share the video with your family, friends, neighbors, and everyone else in between. Shout out to Temba at The Creative Outlet, as well as SiR at Academic Seed for making this shoot possible. Check them out on all socials for all your video, sound, and podcasting needs. Until next week, have a good one.